Saad, how are you?
Hey Alex, I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing amazing. Doing amazing. We spoke a little bit about our intentions in this call, and we're basically exploring how technology is converging into hospitality, and we like to kind of offer many perspectives in that field. So that's why I think that you're a phenomenal candidate, to offer a great, different perspective, right? So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and maybe some layers of your background?
Yes, yeah, I'm Saad. I'm originally Moroccan. I've been in the hospitality field for years now. Started my career in Dubai back in 2005. I worked in different hotels, restaurants, and cuisine types. Yeah, I've been working there for about 17 years and then moved to Canada in 2019, continued working in the same industry. And then after COVID, I decided to move on, still with the restaurant related business, but on the tech side of the business. So now I work for a food delivery company that facilitate deliveries on a platform for restaurants to be successful in terms of their partnership with us and on the network overall. So I still deal with restaurants. I still communicate with folks from the industry, which is great. And that's exactly my background and my passion and what I love doing on day to day.
Excellent, wonderful. Um, so we'll go back a little bit and then kind of move forward to more current, right? How was your first let's say experiences around the hospitality? What were they about? What were they like? And maybe after that, you can tell us a little bit about what has changed in your perspective about hospitality, right? From then to now, your major changes. Hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, when I first started, everything was very, I would say, a traditional, easygoing. We build things from scratch, especially when we do openings of restaurants or hotels. We have to work hard on creating manuals for the operations, creating SOPs depending on what the concept is like, and just creating that standards that's gonna match. Excuse me, creating the concept and the method that we have to work to in order for us to match the concept of what we serve. So again, everything was manual. I remember being working we before even credit card machines exists. Everything was manual. We take credit cards and we type, like we don't even type, like we just copy the information from the credit card and we get the customer to sign on a piece of paper allowing us to charge them that amount. So there was a lot of manual work done behind in terms of operation and services as a whole. But as the time evolved and things are developing, we've seen a huge shift when technology picks up, and that started in the early, I would say, the world economic crisis that happened in 2008. From there, the world has started to shift a little bit towards a brighter side where a lot of technology took off and we started to see a microsystem in place. We started to see some POS systems in place, method of payments such as with credit cards, machines, yeah, and technology for us to deal with at the back office in terms of operations and recording and daily logs and all that stuff. So it's nice to get that chance to be working in a manual kind of thing to everything like systemized in an automated way. So
Amazing. So maybe explain to us a little bit about your current role at Skip. Basically, what are the services solution that you offer? Maybe let's say, key functions of your role? Um, and maybe what would you be considering the ideal customer or client for Skip and your services that you offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in my current role, I manage and grow strategic restaurant partnership across the region. I act as the main point of contact for all my key accounts, balancing their revenue growth with partner satisfaction. I also lead negotiations, performance reviews, and regional initiatives to help restaurants succeed on the platform. I also utilize the data to improve the partner's performance and retentions. I also work closely with different markets, including the French market in Quebec, for example. I also build my earlier experience that I gained from the hospitality business to the tech part of the business. It really helps me a lot to strengthen my relationship with the partners.
Great. What is your current market? Do you are you let's say focus more on the, let's say, local national market of Canada, or do you branch out internationally? What is your footprint in this market?
Yeah, so we're a Canadian brand first of all. So we're proud to be a Canadian brand serving Canadians. So I am involved in pretty much all the provinces, depending on where the brands are existing and where they're taking place in terms of delivery coverage. But yeah, I mean, and we do expand a lot beyond restaurant delivery. So we touch on retail and essentials with the huge growth in non-meal categories like convenience items and pet supplies. Yeah, so we're expanding, we're evolving, and we tend to perform especially well in smaller cities and rural markets where it's local. Like our local network and coverage gives it at a an edge. So that's where we step in when we see how we can, uh, provide that services to those who are residing in areas that is a little bit challenging to get stuff delivered to them.
Got it. Let's say, what is the growth that you're? Is it been a continuous growth? Did you reach a point where the growth was more exponential? Was COVID a catalyst of that, or tell us about that journey of expansion, maybe of the company itself.
Well, yeah, I mean, that the best hike was in COVID when everything was shut down and it shifted to deliveries instead of anything else. People were not going and interacting outdoors like before. So that's where we come to continue to expand our delivery footprints across Canada, and now we're available in about what more than 450 cities and towns nationwide. So we're connecting millions of customers with thousands of partners and restaurants and convenience stores, groceries and retail outlet. And this is huge. This is huge. So one of the biggest shifts in recent years has been us moving beyond just restaurants, but to broader retail and everyday deliveries, like again groceries, household items, pet supplies, and more.
So what would you say is the biggest challenge that you have in regards to the clients that you onboard, right? Where do your clients struggle the most, or where do they need most help, right?
Yeah. So when it comes to food delivery, I think one of the challenges is the market saturation, where partners might find that the competitors around them are making the business a little bit tougher, especially when you compete with well-known brands. It's not easy to keep up. So that's where Restaurants will have to think out of the box and see how they can create some aggressive offerings, come up with promotions to kind of win in the customer, and just get that brand loyalty, and change it from it being weak, to it being very strong. Also, pricing in promotions dominates the behavior. That's for sure. This makes an organic growth even harder and more expensive. So, in my opinion, that's what I think will be challenging. And obviously, the margin pressure. Again, restaurants will expect low fees, fast deliveries, more discounts, but also the pushback is hard on the commissions. And as you know, restaurateurs will always ask for a better ROI when they invest. So that's the expectation. That's where we come in a role to help them be investing correctly, so then they can also get some positive ROI at the end.
Right. Let me ask you, what, from your experience, how important is for a business, so retail or restaurants, to be able to have a, let's say, a platform in social media, or let's say a presence, sorry, in social media? How important it is, or do you see any relevance, right, that will, let's say, attract more sales, right? Is there any relevance between yeah, good social media presence and then more revenue?
Absolutely. Yeah, brand visibility and legitimacy is really important. So for many customers and partners, social media is the first credibility check nowadays. No presence or a weak presence can signal stagnation or irrelevance. So, a consistent professional presence reinforces trust and brand recognition. That's really, really important, as especially it's important in competitive markets such as where we are today, where alternatives are one click away. And then I think influence on purchasing behavior in terms of social media shapes discovery, reviews, and perception plays a big role here. So users rely on comments, rating, and shared experience before they go and try anything. They make sure that they go over reviews and what other people say about that place and why should I go and try it. So the algorithm amplify brands that are active and engaging. However, social media rarely creates demands on its own. It mainly redirects and accelerates existing demand, in my opinion. Other point is maybe customer communication and reputation management. For example, complaints is quickly if ignored. Quick, transparent responses can also prevent reputational damage. That's really important when it comes to restaurant business. And finally, data and market insights, customer sentiment, emerging trends, feedback on products or services for us to work on and improve. That's going to help the market to assume that competitors are more relevant or innovative. Also, the absence is interpreted as a weakness, even if the business is strong. So that's what I think is critical in today's market when it comes to social media and online platforms where customers can go and learn about what you offer and what you serve to the community.
So you mentioned something about obviously reviews. Are there any, let's say, services in place, or let's say strategies in place to be able to bring somebody back from let's say a run of bad reputation? Or what would be, in your opinion, the best way to kind of turn around maybe some mistakes or that have been shown in bad reviews.
Yeah, so right. So you're touching on customer satisfaction and recovery. Yes. Okay. So I think the first principle is speed and ownership. Slow or defensive responses almost guarantee a churn, and that's not something we aim for. So a strong response must be first acknowledging the customers, understanding what the issue is clearly, take ownership and avoid excuses or policy heavy language. Like just acknowledge, apologize, and understand what the problem was, understand what the approach was initially, and work on that. So that will be number one for me. And then followed by respond publicly, resolve privately. Talk about it in reviews in public. Let the people understand what the issue was and how did you react upon it, and how did you resolve it. Most importantly, so this builds a trust between you and your customers. And remember that there are always those who are just watching from far and learning about that experience. And if they like the way how this was handled, they will definitely make their way to visit you and try your experience. Also fix the root cause, not just the moment. Go in depth, see what went wrong. Was it service related, quality, timing, communication, or expectations? Is this a one-off or a pattern? Understand exactly what the issue was. Fair targeted compensation is also really, really important. And examples like small inconvenience could be sincere apology plus reassurance, or missed expectation could be credit replacement or priority services provided. If it's something major, then we will have to think about some sort of a refund and personal follow-up as a goodwill gesture, just to make sure we value that customer, and we also appreciate the transparency and them taking the time to explain the issue to us. So really important, personal follow-up. This is where loyalty is rebuilt. This is what makes customers forget about their bad experience. Short, personalized message after resolution is really, really powerful. Referencing what the exact issue was, confirming what was fixed, and inviting the customer back without pressure. Ask for the return. Don't just assume it. I think it also pays back. Measure recovery success. Most of people don't, and this is a huge opportunity for us. So common mistakes to avoid would be just copy paste responses. Those robotic responses is not what your customer wants to hear from you, or being over
Right.
explaining policies. Customers don't really care about your policies, but they want to hear more about their natural approach and how you're going about it. Public arguments or ignoring neutral or almost bad reviews. We should treat reviewers as adversaries, like those who are advertising my brand. That's how I should take it, and go about it. So the bottom line is not to win the argument, but it's to win the guest back. This is what really, really matters, in my humble opinion.
Amazing, Saad. I think you obviously gave us an incredible breakdown, right, of how to handle and guess and pursue guest recovery in restaurants. Oftentimes it's when a guest complains that if we're able to turn it around, we usually build a solid loyal guest, right? And I think that once we're able to level, people really appreciate human quality coming in, and that's the essence of hospitality. I think you've hit it in a bullseye. I think that the human quality is definitely what will push or change things around. So overall, how do you, just to kind of get into the AI space, how do you see AI overall landscape, as we are in a mass adoption, especially here in the US, Canada, and, a few other countries? What is the impact that you see AI going to be for, your industry? And then overall, what is your take or perspective on what's happening with the AI world?
This is a huge topic. AI came in into play to make things easier, to make us work smarter, not working harder. As I mentioned earlier, we used to build everything from scratch manually, typing everything, coming up with manuals, standard of policies, and all that. While AI, with the simple click, it can give you anything, basically anything you want. So if you use it wisely, I think AI is capable of making your life really easy, and making your operations really efficient, depending on what you're generating from it. But yeah, this comes from drafting contacts, emails, reports, summarizing data and conversations, customer communication at scale. It gets you a lot of data that really help people understand what the market requirements are and how they can be better in this field. So yeah, I'm very optimistic and supportive to this great tool that we are at today.
How are you utilizing AI? Obviously in your day to day, workflow or a day to day operation.
It definitely reduces my manual work, but instead it is speeding up my response times. For example, standardizing processes. So if there is anything I should deal with, I kind of run it through AI and see if that's relevant, if that's better. And I'm making AI learn and understand the way I work, and then we together are building a good understanding so that we can be easy on making or drafting anything, basically, that's going to help me get back to my partners, build presentations, do custom reportings, or come up with just some content creation for restaurants, and how they can be, coming up with brilliant ideas and competitive offerings in today's market. So yeah.
How is Kip integrating AI into the company itself, right? Has it been? Have you been already transforming or your processes, right, for a while, or has the adoption been more of a recent, let's say, decision?
Yeah, since we're a tech company, I think we are definitely using the AI, but at what level exactly? That's something that sits with our technical team. Talking about my own role, I do participate in using AI on my day-to-day tasks and work when it comes to anything, customer support related, or sales and account management related, operations related, marketing. I make sure that I utilize the AI just to kind of understand and try to offer a better product to my clients. But yeah, at a company level, that's definitely something we are working on. But at what level? That's something that our team will be involved more than myself with it. So yeah.
So where do you think that, or have you discovered yet aspects of the operation where you think AI has an opportunity to grow, right, or to make bigger impact?
Well, as I said, like AI, in my opinion, it needs to sit with you for some time, understand the way you work, start to generate some data, start to understand what type of reports you're working, how do you get them from, or how do you use the data. So once the AI understands that, it makes it so easy for it to be more useful to you, and then it provides you with what you ask. So, for example, that could be generating a report and then asking AI to tell you, okay, in which market did we do well and which market we have to work on, why that's happening, and how we can resolve it. So it kind of just gives you some hints that you can work on and put them together for a short presentation or a deck to present to your partners.
Yeah, amazing. What do you say about people, or let's say comments about AI is kind of to here to take our jobs? What is your sentiment around that? Biggest, I would say the biggest fear right now that we face as we are uh, getting to more used to using this technology.
As someone who came in from hospitality field, I don't really think that AI is gonna do that much to us, but it's gonna only make our life easier, as I mentioned. So I don't think you sit in a restaurant, you still wanna be served by a human being. You still wanna have that, that human feels and experience, because I don't think technology or AI is gonna replace us as humans. So if we're talking about restaurant business, I think AI will be used to make things easier at the back end, but at the front side of the experience, I think it's really important to remain serving people. People come in for an experience, not just a service or food, but they come to learn about your concept and what you present to them. If I go to an Indian restaurant, for example, I don't look at me going just to have food, but also learning about the culture, understanding about their cuisine, yeah, just learning about the whole experience from A to Z, from me being greeted to me being having a big farewell.
Yeah, I agree. In many ways, I think that there's that misconception being a type of business where human interaction is so key and pivotal. But in if you ask me what industry it's in a way safer from any of those fears, I would say a restaurant. I mean, although I've already seen a few robots running food to your table, it seems like it's more of a gimmicky type of thing, and not yet
Right.
as efficient as a real human can be. But we can always uh, have a dinner at home. I think that part of why we go out is for that experiential aspect and the interaction, right? And the yeah, hospitality, right? That adds the
Exactly.
value to the meal that we have. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
It's just irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm. I what I'm seeing, and I think that obviously the world will transform, but I think that we're it's going to go exponentially quicker. The changes and the adoption in a way. I think that the next 3 years are going to be probably the most transformative yet. Um, you know, it's all in. We need to be part of the process, and I think that if you are continuously using AI, you don't have to fear that the technology will surpass your abilities. I think that there's going to be plenty of new jobs being created for people that actually have or understand how to use it and leverage it for sure. Um,
100%.
so, what's where do you see restaurant business overall? Do you see any trends as far as where the restaurant world is moving towards in 5 years? How do you have a perspective of how that was going to be viewed?
Oh, well, so in 5 years, customer expectations will definitely shift. Um, as you know, technology is a core, not optional anymore. So yeah, online ordering and delivery platforms will grow massively. Restaurants will have to adopt with systems that are tied to digital channels, and they have to expect AI tools for forecasting, inventory, menu optimization. Everything is going to change towards the good, in my opinion. If we talk about labor market and margins, so higher wages and benefits will be expected too. Operators working harder to retain a talent with career paths and culture, not just a pay. Costs have changed the game and will continue to change the game with all the food inflation and supply chain challenges. They really have pushed operators to rethink menu restructuring and to lean into seasonal and local supplies or suppliers to stabilize the quality and costs. I think this is huge. And also, major trends shaping the next 5 years will definitely be sustainability as a baseline expectation, while the AI and automation exist everywhere. So data will drive more decisions going forward, and hybrid models will continue to grow for sure. We've been seeing a lot of ghost kitchens, pop-ups, limited time concepts, subscription meal plans, and meal kits from restaurant chefs, etc. So everything as such will definitely be expanding. Yeah, same as other industries, same as real estate will also evolve, and yeah, we have to look at the bright side of the story and look for opportunities to win. And I think, in my opinion, I have to, or restaurants business will have to focus on profitability and not just growth going forward. Lean onto tech that saves money. To the point I mentioned, us working smart, not working hard. Align values, align with the values from customers that we really care about. And finally, create differentiated experiences, not just better food. Like, I'm a big fan of going to a restaurant not just for the sake of food, but for the sake of experience, to learn and to take something away with me.
Yeah, I think that yeah, you hit in the bullseye. We might go deeper in a way that of how we present our product, maybe be a little bit more intentional. I was in a very interesting conversation with a chef today, where he talks about you know how building a menu where you can modify or prepare the food for optimal absorption, right, or bioavailability, and also combining food in a way that one not only enhanced in flavor or paired in
Yeah,
flavor, but
yeah,
actually uh, nutrition wise, it's better absorbed for the body. So um, as I'm going in through some of these exercises, I can see how people are really starting to think outside of the box, and in a way, AI is it's kind of bridging that gap, making it much more simpler to be able to birth these ideas, right, and have the data there.
yeah. Absolutely.
So So tell us, I would say, what would be the biggest, let's say, how do you separate yourself from your competition in moving forward, right? What are your clients really wanting from your services, right? And what are how are you thinking about the way that you need to position yourself to stay on edge and keep a competitive edge?
I think reliability will be the biggest thing, in my opinion. This is the bridge of trust between you and your clients. When you're someone who's reliable, the business is gonna carry on, and that relationship is gonna grow and is gonna remain very strong. So yeah, I have to be someone reliable, trustful, and being there for whoever needs whatever, and then we can work towards that as a goal. And yeah, so to separate myself from competition, I must be the most consistent, reliable option in my market, and where quality, service, and experience never change.
Great. Um, yeah, listen, I probably let me finish with one last question. Uh, um, what's your playbook to rearrange a partner that's slipping, right? When you see a, you know, let's say finicky partnership, what are the tools, or let's say, what is the procedure, right? That the script that you follow in order to be able to retain your partners.
Keep that relationship live. Make some calls, ask about them, see what are they up to. People must be busy with their own lives, and besides the business, I think it's nice to sometime go beyond just the business and give that personal touch. Ask about how they're doing, how their family is doing, and then from there you slowly go back to the point. I think that's what makes us different, and because we care and we put ourselves in the partner's shoes, understanding their challenges and problems will make things easy for us to work towards it and try our best to resolve it for them or with them, and that's gonna make the relationship growing. It's like a snowball thing. So as long as you make those extra steps, you go above and beyond, and be the first to initiate the conversation. Will be nice to engage them, and they will never go churn, or they will never go sleeping.
So, what would you want restaurant operators to understand about growth and partnership in 2026?
Understanding how 2025 went, knowing what the failures were, take them as a learning, and from there you can base your case study and ask yourself how I want to be better on 2026. Case study, do a quick check around you, see who are your competitors, what the market is needing, think out of the box, try something different. Don't limit yourself and in a very limited offering range. You can go crazy sometime, and that pays off, and that's exactly what's going to make you different from others. So benchmarking is really important. That's where you understand where your position is, and then you can start polishing and going from there. But it's a work in progress. It's not a magic stick that's gonna change everything in one day. It's a work in progress. It's a long-term planning and investment that requires passion. Again, if you love this industry, be patient, give it time, do your part, and leave the rest to react upon what you do.
Amazing. Thank you, Saad. Anyone for anyone out there that want to connect with you and the services that you provide in your work, what is the best way to be able to know a little bit about your services?
Yeah, I'm available on Instagram and LinkedIn. Again, if anything related to hospitality or needing help with restaurants, concepts, openings, SOPs, and anything else related to it, I'm available. I'm happy to help. Yeah, and I look forward to connecting.
Amazing, Saad. I really appreciate you joining the conversation. Thank you so much for really taking your time, and we'll see you again sometime soon, hopefully. All right.
Absolutely, Alex. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.